You have your hello and welcome to the Overnight Shift, where hard conversations are tackled and juicy stories are shared. Well, from a millennial perspective. I'm your girl, Angel Livas.
And I'm your boy, Rodney Warren. This is a sacred space where all are welcome and accepted, and respective viewpoints are appreciated, you guys. Everything else will be blocked and you will be deleted because we don't have any hateration over here. Mary J. Blige. So sit back, relax, and welcome to the No Judgment Zone. We do not judge you here. We love everyone, except for people who do bad shit. Now, to get things started, we're going to our viewers' vault and to pull a question from one of our lovely audience. We want to know where you guys are watching us from. You know, you can be from Alaska, you can be from New Mexico, you can be from Afghanistan. Don't be shy. This show is all about mutual engagement. So we want to hear from you. Okay, people? What's up, Lynn? Oh, got somebody checking in already. What's up? What's up, Leon? Okay, let me go grab our viewers' vault. Okay.
Leon, where you checking in from, Leon?
Yes, where are you checking in from?
Let us know. We definitely want to shout out. I know last week we had somebody, was it Australia? I forget where they were from, but it was definitely an international location. So definitely let us know where you're checking in from. Share this live. We definitely want to make sure we have a great conversation where we're pulling people in. Yes, New York is in the house. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, I almost feel like we shouldn't go to our question from the viewer vault just yet. What you think? Should we go to the viewer vault yet?
You know, should we wait for the people coming in? Oh, I see Tristan. What's up, Tristan? What's up? He's checking in. Make sure you guys share this live as well, because like I said, it's interactive. But you know what? Let's go and give the people what they want. We got people here. Let's go and give them what they need.
But what about the person who asked the question? Don't we want to make sure they're on the live?
They
probably are. Okay, let's see. All right, yes, I'm trying to break that mason jar. So if any of y'all know Rodney personally and can go over to the house and break it, please, I will send you $25 cash app. Promise.
You will be going to jail.
Whatever. All right, so we are going to dive into our viewers' vault for today's question. And that question is, are y'all ready? It's real.
They might not be.
Here we go. How do I tell my boyfriend that his penis is too big? It feels like he is breaking my walls every time we have sex. So I just give him bomb head. He is getting upset with me, though, because I don't give him the cookie. I don't want to leave him because this is the best relationship I have ever had. I don't feel like I will find a better man. Please help. All right, so that is our question. And I'm not laughing at the question. I was laughing at one of the comments that I just saw. And so, Rodney, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, let's let the ladies go first. You're a respectable woman. So what do you feel about big penises hurting you?
You know, I feel like Tristan said leave him. Okay. You know, I feel like it depends, right? So if you cannot open up and have a conversation with him, and you clearly can't open up to receive all of him, then it may not be something that is in your best interest to stay in the relationship. Now, being able to open up and have the conversation, I think that that's first and foremost. Like, definitely want to make sure that you can go to him and say, look, this is what's happening. So either I need you to be a little gentle. Let's have a code word, whether it's pineapples, whether it's like whatever. Like, you have to be able to have something where you feel like your body is being respected. And I feel like at the end of the day, I hear a lot about what you are doing to please him, but in return, how is it pleasing you? Because if it's so painful that you're not getting off and getting what you need, then who is it really benefiting? Is it just you just completely giving of yourself and being selfless and you're not being pleased? So that's kind of like the standpoint that I'm coming from.
I'm going to say this. So you're telling me if a man is hurting your walls, Angel, you're still going to be with that man? He's too big. She already.
I would have the conversation. I would explain, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, when you are having sex with somebody, you can tell if you're deep and they're cringing. Like, they're like, oh, whoa. You can tell, like, if you're hurting them. Like, that. This is just natural human nature. It's not like you have to just, like, scream and holler. They should be able to tell if they're paying attention to your body, if they're paying attention to you. And if they are a good partner, then they should care about pleasing you as well. So to me, I would start with the conversation. I would start off by saying, like, hey, look, like, this is great, and I definitely want to be able to please you, but we need to, have some code words.
I'm going to say this, because this truly do fit in. I feel like it fits in with our topic as well, because I could tell them. I would say this. For one, don't ever feel like no man is the best you will ever have, okay? There's a false narrative. That is a passed down generational curse that we are going to break tonight, because you are beautiful enough to find somebody else. And he might be treating you, because you know what? When you're used to assholes in your life, when you find somebody who treats you decently, you feel like that's the best you can ever have. And I just make sure that narrative in your mind, not your life, that you can't find someone better, because we're not going to do that over here. Okay, no. You can find better. However, now, if he is hurting your walls, I really want to know how big it is, because the way you say he's breaking your walls. So that means you're not enjoying anything. Are you passing a baby? So is he girthy, or is he? I mean, he got to be girthy. He can't be lengthy, because he got to be very well endowed to be breaking your walls. And if somebody's breaking your walls, I would suggest that you leave that alone, or you be in an open relationship. Because I don't know what to tell you, because to me, sex need to be enjoyable. So if your sex with him, who you love, is not enjoyable, what you gonna do? Because obviously your head ain't that good, because he don't want it no more.
Don't say that. I think that's going a little far.
It ain't that good if he trying to get in your cookie jar.
No, I feel like most men, if they have that, then that's just like the precursor to the next phase. It's not like a one or the other. It's typically like, I want both. Well, so I don't know. Well, we hope that this insight has helped you. And like I agree totally with Rodney. Like, this may be your best relationship thus far, but I also want you to pay attention to some of the signs of somebody who is selfish. And to me, if somebody is not taking the time to make sure that you are being taken care of sexually, that you are enjoying the experience, then those are some telltale signs that it may be more about them and what their needs are versus you being happy and satisfied with the experience as well.
Because let me say this, sex should not be feeling like you having a baby. I ain't never heard one woman who said that's enjoyable.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
And I wonder, like, I guess, the talk this, I have a question for her. If he not also giving you fellatio where you feel like you're satisfied, because I feel like you're doing everything for him and you're getting nothing in return. But
are you listening to what I said? Because I just said the exact same thing without all the vulgarity.
I just had to ask her because I really feel like sis needs some help. But that's all I had to say.
Okay. Well, we hope that the information that we have shared with you from our perspective has been beneficial. Let's go to the comments so we can see what some of the viewers have said as it relates to this conversation. Let's see. Somebody said you need to leave. Somebody else said you need to leave. Somebody said get him a blow-up doll. Yeah, so sounds like the consensus is you have to do what's best for you. And like I said, it's really pay attention to some of those telltale signs of whether or not somebody is genuinely into you or just into the opportunity. So that is our viewer vote experience for today. If you would like to have your questions submitted to be asked live on the show, all you have to do is visit overniteshift.com and click on our contact box so you can submit your question. Or if you are live on the show, you can add your questions now, and we do have another segment a little later in the show where we can include that question. All right, well, it's time for us to get down to the topic of the day. You ready, Rodney?
I'm ready. You ready?
Do you remember what the topic is?
Yes, it is. The topic for today is open or close. How do you like it? And is your relation in your relationship? Wait, I'm sorry, I read that all the way wrong.
First of all, you weren't even supposed to read it, but
right, yeah, read it. I messed it up.
No, you're good. No. So, Rodney is right. So our topic is open or closed. How do you like it? And when we talk about how do you like it, it is your relationship that we are referring to.
Yeah, not the song. How do you want it? Hey, how do you feel?
Coming up in fast lane, living in the fast lane life for real. I don't even know if those are the words.
I don't know what it
Y'all know what song we're talking about, right? Little Tupac. So, what are your thoughts, Rodney?
Okay, open or close. I feel like this. Again, I'm going to say as I get older, as I mature. Me personally, I would not have my relationship open within the first 15 years. I really feel like in 15 years, I hope that we both can satisfy each other sexually and make us, get the best orgasm out of each other and we just enjoy each other's company. Now, 15 plus years, I don't mind us traveling, and we in another country and we might want to add somebody to the bedroom. I'm not against that. But I hope that I am.
You said add somebody to the bedroom. The question is open or closed. Like you talking about a threesome. We're talking about where you go do you, I'm gonna go do me.
Well, that can be interpreted in two different ways.
Okay, so let's go with yours. Y'all traveling the country, y'all in Phuket, which is one of my favorite places to go, and you come across somebody, y'all welcome this person into your bedroom. You're saying at least 15 years down the line. So that you're open to.
Yes, I'm open to that. Now, open relationship, I'm just not. Let me say this. I would say this. I feel like if you are mature enough to handle the open relationship, I say go for it. But it would be many, many rules. Because let's just say this. Let's just go back to old girl who wrote that letter. Let's just say this person treats you right and they love you and you love them and everything in y'all house and y'all kids are taken care of. Like you love this person, but the sex is whack. So you're gonna be in this section right here, the whack sex. The sex, yeah. So if that is your problem, if that is your case, and if y'all agree to an open relationship, and y'all have follow y'all rules that y'all have for each other, I say go for it. But if I was to be in an open relationship, it would really just have to be for sex only. I would not be trying to, fall in love with the other person. I don't want the person, contacting me. If I don't contact them, it's strictly for sex.
Now, that is just like the relationship side of it. Now, I know a few people who have welcomed somebody else into the bedroom.
Was you one of them?
No. Welcome somebody else into their bedroom. And one situation, it went really well. I think for the most part, like everybody was very open, everybody was very honest. One of the young ladies ended up calling the girl who they welcomed into their bedroom. They exchanged numbers, and it seems as though it became more of like feelings started to be had between the two women. And the boyfriend was understanding. It's a very interesting cycle. But I've seen it look like that, right? But everybody was okay with the outcome. But I've also seen situations where it's been somebody had a threesome, feelings were had, and they left with the other person. And that was their first introduction to like a same-sex encounter, and the dude got left behind. So then there's jealousy that builds up. There's trust issues that builds up. So I don't know. Like I'm a little too, I know you call me sophisticated, but I'm a little too like, I want what's mine. I don't want to share my cookies. Like no, I'm not interested. No. And I don't want nobody to have what I have. Like, what's the point?
But what if you're in a situation, Angel? What if you're with this man and he can't get up anymore and he refuses to take that blue pill?
So here's the thing. So in full transparency, I have been in a relationship where it was sexless, like for years. And in that relationship, I did bring to the table the idea of, because my whole thought process was, well, if you don't want to have sex, this is a personal thing. Like, this is something that you don't want. I think it's unfair of you to put that on me. So I brought it to the table and said, hey, like, can I contract this out? I didn't say open, relationship. I just said, can I just contract this one particular area of our relationship out? Because clearly it seems like it's not something that you're interested in. So how would you take that? Or go ahead.
What was the senses when you said that?
The response was, well, can we put it on the calendar? Can we schedule it in and make it more of like an appointment? And for me, that was even more of a disappointment, because it's like, well, why gotta be a calendar appointment? Like, you have to have an alarm clock go off for you to want to have sex. That just makes it worse.
I have so many more questions today. Do you mind me asking the questions?
Go, boy.
So when y'all first met, were y'all sexually active?
Like within a certain amount of time, yeah. I mean, not like, it wasn't like a first date type thing, no.
No,
but over time, yeah.
Y'all started, was it like very frequently after that?
No. So here's the thing. The relationship I probably should have never entered, given my appetite versus the other person. And understanding that, I think for me, I thought, okay, well, over time, like, it can change, or whatever, certain circumstances could make the situation change. That did not happen. So I found myself in a situation where it was just like, okay, well, what do you do?
So for years without sex, were you masturbating? Like, how were you pleasing yourself?
I think for me, it was more redirecting your energy and your attention, if that makes sense.
Women are so different from men. Like, when I say this, I want to make sure I say this. Let's speak for me. A man can have sex with somebody else and don't have any feelings at all. We just come to get our nut and we can go right back home like nothing never happened. I feel like with women, y'all are really more like soul ties. So I always say, this is what I was. Well, this is what I was told by women in my family. If a woman cheat on you, that means that she's done with you. Because that means now she's giving herself to somebody else that she was only saving for you. Because I was told by women in my family that all women don't cheat unless y'all care for the person. Vice versa, a man can cheat and have sex with his woman and can never talk to her or him ever again.
I think there are definitely women that are like that.
But it's not you.
What'd you say?
It was not you. So let's help some people out who was in your situation. So where do you redirect your energy? Like, what do you do with your frustration for sex?
I think it's turn it into something positive, right? So if you have more time, you have, all of this built up energy, like what's a passion of yours that you want to see manifest? Like, so for me, it was building businesses. It was, doing totally different things outside. Yeah, it was generating money. That's just how my mind works. So everybody has their own thing. There's some people who turn to alcohol. There's some people, but I wanted to say it in the positive. Like, if we're having whatever the situation, the difficulties are, well, how can I set myself up to move further along? And so whenever this situation dissolves or whatever happens, I'm good. Like, I still have something to show for the time. A lot of times people are in relationships and they're so wrapped up in the relationship that they lose a sense of self. They lose a sense of like productivity. And so that wasn't me. That wasn't my truth. Like, for me, it was, okay, well, since this isn't happening, and because I'm just a very loyal person, I wasn't going to step out. So it was like, well, let me figure out how to make this work for what it is.
So let me ask you this. So when you try, this is my last question. We can move on. So when you try, I'm just trying to help some people because there's some people in your situation.
Oh, really? You want to help some people, or you just want to know my business?
I was in a relationship where it was sexless. I ain't gonna lie, but I cheated. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to the people. Like, I did not have sex for like a good 8 months, and I spoke on it. This is how I feel. When I bring it to your attention, and I say, "Hey, babe, you notice we haven't had sex in 3 months. Like, I love oral, but that's not enough for me."
Mm-hmm.
So
you're at least having oral.
Yeah.
You're having oral. Yes, when I say sexless, I mean no intimacy at all. No kissing, no nothing, no intimacy.
We're gonna come back to that. Because but so I give you 3 times. When I bring to your attention 3 times, I'm telling you, this is an issue. Again, that goes back to effective communication. I'm bringing it to your attention, and now you are ignoring my desires. So when I feel like my desires are ignored, I feel like you're a good person, I'm just gonna go get my sex from somewhere else and come back to you and like nothing ever happened. You will never be disrespected. They will never know where we live, who you are, your number, none of that. Because that's how I feel like that's how people get caught up. Like Andrew Gillum, we're gonna come back to him later. But when you do step out, make sure you're smart about your stuff. And so my question for you would be, so have you ever tried to have sex with him? Did he reject you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's move on to Andrew. Let's move on to Andrew Gillum. So
no, I mean, like, but look, it's just to be clear, like, and it's okay. Like, I mean, this has been like years, time span. So coming to grips with understanding, like, okay, I'm not the type of person. I'm not fighting for you to do something. Like you said, you're gonna get somebody 3 times. I gave you years to come to grips with, to overcome, and all of that. Huh?
What is your sign? The people need to know.
My sign?
Yeah.
The people need to know. I did not see that in the comments. Where you see that at?
People need to know your sign because you might be a sign that be very loyal.
I'm the same sign as your mama, I think.
Aquarius?
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't be no Aquarius. Diane would have went for that. But I guess I'm different.
Yeah. I mean, like, it was definitely one of my things where it was I wanted to change and transition things I wanted to make things as well as I could. And so, like Leon said, he was focused on, clothing and designing, whatever that passion is. That was my focus. Leon's a Capricorn.
Me too,
so Leon. Yeah, that's what to say.
Touché. Let's talk about Andrew Gillum. Andrew Gillum, you guys, oh Lord. He don't want me to talk about it. It's cursing my throat.
Hold up. So did you put up Leon's statement about that he's a fan of dirty? Oh.
You know, before we move with it, let's talk about our viewers' question, what they said.
Or statements, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Tristan said, open relationship is a recipe for a disaster no matter what. I think as soon as the idea is even thought of, you all will never get back to what made you all unique.
How you feel about it?
You know, I think if both persons are on the same page, I think it's okay. But most of the time, I think that it may be an idea that's presented that somebody else is like, yo, like, how did we get here? And then insecurities brew, you know? So somebody's going to be thinking, well, am I not pleasing this person? Are they not happy? Do they feel like they need to go elsewhere to receive what I'm unable to give them? And so when you run into situations like that, then you feel like, well, you're going to start looking. You're going to start being like, okay, well, what is he doing? Like, or what is she doing in that spare time? Because if somebody's coming to you with something, it's definitely a sign that they're not happy.
I'm going to say, you know, Angel, you hit it right on the nail. I would say this. If I bring something to your attention, that means I'm not satisfied. But a thing with me, I'm not going to say it's a Capricorn trait. I always bring something to your attention when something is affecting me. Because I grew up in a household where I was told when something's bothering you, don't let it fester, bring it up to the light. Because when you blow up, people think you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I have an issue like that, I say, well, hey, man, how you feel about threesome? That means that you're boring me or we not having enough. And either I'm going to leave you or we're going to be in an open relationship. I'm going to be single. So whatever you want to do, pick your poison. But I don't like it. So that's my answer to that. And then Leon also said, I am a fan of dirty texting without pics, but very few are into a certain level. I don't like sexting. I've never been a sexting person. That just don't do nothing for me. I'm a FaceTime person, but I've never been a sexting person. What about
you? What happens during FaceTime person? What that mean?
You see what you want to see. Ta-da!
It's like a sex texting, but like a live stream.
Yes. But let's get into Andrew Gillum. I really want to. I do. But let's get into this Andrew Gillum. So Andrew Gillum, you guys, was a man who was running for government. And, you know, he lost. He was cheated. I'm going to say that. I really feel like he was cheated out of winning his election. However, Andrew Gillum was sloppy. He got caught with 2 white people in a room that was confirmed hookers, and he was drunk and effed up.
White people?
Yeah, white 2 white men. I'm sorry. Oh, you're right. You're right. You know what? You're right. 2 white men. Okay? So he got caught with 2 white men. This man is married with children. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. So I feel like this. When you... Wait, somebody threw me off. I'm sorry. Somebody threw me off.
Okay.
So when he got caught, he went on hiatus. He didn't talk about it. You know, I feel like his PR was very smart because I feel like first you need to take her home. He got caught in a room with 2 male prostitutes who was confirmed, and they got pictures and they told on your business. Now, come to find out on Tamron Hall that his wife knew about the situation. So with that being said, now I don't have any judgment on their relationship, on how they conduct their marriage, because I feel like whatever you do in your marriage is your business, it's your life, it's your wife. Hold on, let me finish. I'm gonna let you get. I'm trying to build up the story. It's gonna get juicy. So now, I don't respect the sloppiness that you did, if you already know that your wife is okay with you being a bisexual open man and she welcoming y'all marriage, why in the hell would you be so sloppy knowing you are a public figure? For one, you disrespected your wife publicly, and you disrespected your kids, and you disrespected your own integrity and your character. Because now people know your business. And I feel like this: mess with honest hoes. Get you an honest hoe who ain't gonna tell your business and gonna keep your business to yourself. When you mess with these hoes who wanna run their mouth and take pictures, that's why y'all don't blog. And you know what? You made a statement. Trump does it all the time. Trump say the most craziest, outlandish things out of his mouth. But however, Trump is white and you are not. And we live in a world where black people are not respected. So now you done messed up your whole thing. But would I vote for you? Yeah. Because, I mean, for one, I'm not here to judge your marriage. I just don't respect the sloppiness that you did. So that's all I have to say about it.
Okay, so I just want to give you a few corrections to what you said. His wife knew that he was bisexual, but she did not give him permission to step out, and they did not have an open marriage.
So what the hell does bisexual mean?
Bisexual just means that you like men and women.
So does that go away when you get married?
No. So essentially, he was like, I mean, which raises a bigger question. Like, would you marry somebody who's bisexual? Like, I feel like, just sticking with like somebody who likes other women, you already got a lot that you got to deal with. But dealing with somebody who's bisexual, the entire world is their oyster. The entire world is, their playground. And you don't know who they like, what their interests are as it relates to a man or a woman. So, I mean, that was the only correction that I wanted to make, is that yes, she accepted him. She married him knowing that he was bisexual, but just because you are bisexual, if you are in a committed relationship, the responsibility is still there to be committed in that relationship. And that is where the disconnect happened in the marriage. Now, she came out with him and was like, yes, I knew that he was bisexual, so that wasn't news to me. But his dishonesty and loyalty to the marriage, that's where the problem came in.
I didn't see that part, so I guess I didn't see that. So that's what you saw?
He did an interview, and that's what he talked about. How, as a bisexual, he's like, it doesn't go away. That attraction to other men did not go away just because he got married. And his example was, when you get married, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be sexually attracted to other women if you're heterosexual. And so if you are attracted to other women based on your sexual origin, you just make a commitment. You make a strategic commitment to that person that you're marrying. And so the same thing is true with bisexual relationships. Like, hey, I'm choosing to be with you. I'm not going to pay attention to nobody else, but you still have that desire. Actually, it's similar to men who are on the down low, who create opportunities.
There's a difference.
No. Hear me out. I let you talk. Stop talking.
I'm going to hear you out. Speak, Corita.
And I've had this conversation with other men who have been on the down low, where they have the desire still to be with a man, but for social status and for social reasons have decided to marry a woman just so they can fit into society's standards. But that desire to be with a man never goes away.
I'm going to say this.
Hold on, let's read Tristan's long note that you put up that covers half our screen. Tristan said, for Andrew, I think he would not win no matter what because of the strikes against Black and brown people. His sexuality is on a nonlinear spectrum, so it's hard for people to grapple. It is paradigm of fluidity. So he lost the Black, gay, and heterosexual community, so he would never be able to recover from that or recover from this because of the outcome of how it came out how it came out, not necessarily the content of the action.
Okay, we gonna come back to that. I want to say this. I respect bisexual men if you are honest about what you do. Okay, if you go and tell your whatever you want to be with that, hey, I like both, I respect it. I do not respect down low men, and I'm not gonna. This is a whole nother show topic. We're not gonna waste it on this. The reason why I don't respect down low men is because you are grown and you are yourself. Whatever your family did to you or how you was raised up does not affect how you are personally. And I don't think it's fair to lie to women or whoever and men, and you know you are bisexual and you know you like the other sex. I think that is dishonest and that is deceptive and that you should be going to jail. But okay, but now the Tristan's question, I cannot not agree with that because, like, again, he's black. And I feel like, and one thing about black people that we can respect, well, I know for me as a black person, I respect honesty. So now that you not honest, now that I feel like you are hiding things, I don't know if I can trust you as a candidate. But again, I will vote for you depending on the situation with who is running.
Wait a second, but why is his sexual orientation to the outward public your business? He was honest with his wife. He doesn't owe you an explanation of his sexuality. Okay.
Sloppy. You effed up, you were sloppy, and your ass got caught. Moving on to Will and Jada. Jada messed with a snitch.
Have to go through all. We do not have to go through all the people. It's time for our sponsor thing. Do your sponsorship.
You know what? Let's get our sponsors. You're right. Let's go on and get our sponsors. So, you know, we can pay for the show. So our sponsor for tonight, you guys, is TLC. It is a product that really helps you. I'm gonna put it in front of my face. Here's a product that really helps you lose weight. I can honestly say, you guys, that I lost weight during COVID-19. I'm gonna have this is a truth, my truth. I was 215 pounds from the months of April to June. During COVID-19, March, during COVID-19, I was not going to the gym. I really let myself go, and I'm only 29, I'm not even 30. So I was depressed. When I went from a size 30 pads to a size 34. And in my mind, I'm denying that I'm getting fat. That's the true factor. I'm 5'8", I weigh 100. I was weighing 175 pounds, going to 215. That's a whole little toddler. There's over 40-some pounds I gained on my body. So I was looking for a product out there that was going to help me get rid of this water weight, and I also exercise. So if you want to really and truly lose weight, you guys, I recommend this tea. Now, I'm going to say it's about the tea. You have to work out with it, okay? If you're not working out with this tea, it's not going to do you any service. You're going to lose 5 pounds, and that's it. So I'm very active. I'm an active person. And I really feel like in our black community that we have to, if we can help ourselves lose the weight, do it. I'm not bedridden. I'm not handicapped. I can go walk. I can work out the gym, and I can do what I got to do. So I recommend anyone who is trying to lose weight, honestly, people, who is trying to lose weight and you want to get back to yourself to make you comfortable, I recommend you go buy the TLC tea. And if you want to buy the tea, you go on to my Instagram. It's going across the thing or no? It's not.
No, you told me you took it off.
You know I did. So I'm gonna type it in here. Hold on. Let me type it.
But while he types that in, I just want to definitely commend, and if everybody can just give him a round of applause, because today he did not feel like going to the gym. It was going to be super late by the time that he made it to the gym. And he's just been really diligent about the time that he's going and his commitment to his weight loss journey. So I commend you, and I think that you're doing a phenomenal job. Let us tell us the name of the tea once again, and just say out loud what your handle is.
Yes, ISOT. I only use what I use. I do not allow people products, so I'm going to tell you what I only use. And you can follow me at you can find the tea at I am Rodney Wash, not Walsh. It's Wash, like wash your hands, and like Rodney King, and put I am in front of it. If you click on the link on my link tree. You can see at the bottom, and you can buy your tea. You can lose weight just like me. So that's it for our sponsors, Angel.
All right. Well, it is time for our question of the day. And you got a couple rounds of applause there, which,
Thank
like
you.
I said earlier, like I truly think that you deserve that. Your commitment is definitely paying off. So congratulations,
Thank
Rodney.
you. It's hard, but I'm getting back fine, y'all.
You're doing great. All right. So our question of the day, and if you guys have any questions that you would like to submit to the viewer vault, you can either add them directly here, or you can send them to us in our contact box on overniteshift.com. Just put contact, complete it. You can send it. It'll be completely anonymous. We will not say your name during reading the question. All right. So the question is, when is it a good time to talk to your children about sex? Now, for those who do not know me, I have two young boys, 6 and 7. And so when Rodney actually picked this topic, I was like, ooh, I don't really have an answer for that. Like, it's not something that I've thought about, right? And so I think a greater question becomes, like, is it something that you want your kids to learn out on their own, from somebody else talking about it, some other kid talking about it? Or do you want to be proactive and have that conversation early? I know that Rodney did some research on key things that you definitely want to make sure your kids know. And I think that I've done that. Like, I've at least been very honest about, what they call their body parts, what they are, and all that. But I haven't talked about the birds and the bees and all that. Like, I think it's still a little young for that. Rodney, what did you find in your research?
Yes, let me put on my reading glasses. So, as I was looking up from this wonderful topic, and the reason why this came up, because I really feel like you guys, your kids need to know the true name of their body parts. And also they know about sex. Because unfortunately, we live in a time and day where kids are being molested and mistreated, and it's not cool. And a lot of times, you'd be surprised how many cases are lost because kids are not saying the proper name of their sexual parts. Okay, so as I was doing some research on Psychology Today, according to Dr. Michael Castleman, you should discuss sex with your children when they are toddlers. Now, I was like a little iffy about that because I feel like I don't want to talk about sex with my child as a toddler, but I don't mind giving their sexual part names. And as I done a little bit more research, you guys, I found an article on helpline.com, and they said you should talk about sex when your children are able to speak their first words, which I truly agree with that. The words they should know are vulva, vagina, penis, testicles, and anus, because those are the words, according to helpline.com, your child are touched in their no place, is what most people say. When you go to court, those are the words that get the person touched them convicted. We don't work in court, and it's weird, y'all. This is why a lot of laws need to change. But at some place, if you don't say the right word and your child say we and in my special place, your case is thrown away and your child is scarred for life, and I don't think that's cool. Now, for me in my household, when I do have children, we're not going to talk about sex to me until you ask questions. Because what I don't want to happen is you hearing stuff at your school that you had never heard at your household. So if you come home and say, Daddy, what is my penis for? Or Daddy, what is my vagina for? I'm going to let you know what it's for. Now, I'm going to tell you to use it at that age. If you're too young, hell no. I'm going to let you know.
What do you mean? So what is your penis for?
It's to make babies. Period. That's what it's for. That's all they need to know. That's how you was made, through a penis and a vagina. Period. I'm not finna go.
Isn't that also where you release yourself? Like,
I'm not. Now, if my child is 7, 8 years old, I'm not gonna go through all that. Now, if they 13, 14 on up, yeah, then I might go through. They're going through changes in their bodies and all that stuff. And like, this is what it is.
So what did your parents say to you? What did that conversation look like? And how
In
old
my
were you?
household, honestly, my dad did not talk about sex at all. My dad, but I found a lot of porno tapes that I did watch. I'm not gonna lie. I saw
But
every
I
last.
think that's part of the problem. I think a lot of our young
I
black
saw
men
all the
are being
values of
taught
life.
about sex from porno.
1, 2, and 3, and 4. My daddy had them all. So I did watch that. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to the people. You know, I did watch porn, but my dad, I'm not gonna say he was ashamed of sex, but I want to say I don't think he was comfortable talking about sex with his children. And I truly do hope that when you guys have kids, you are comfortable enough to talk about sex within your household. Because let me tell you something, your kids gonna find out if not by
One way
you,
or the other.
through somebody else. And I can honestly say that I thank God that I don't have anything because I started off at 16 and once I had my first taste, I went wild. It was something new. I didn't know what that I was doing. I found out that they was wearing HEP. The good thing, the porn that I watched, they had on condoms, so I knew they had on a condom at 16. Now, if I didn't see that at 16, I would not have worn a condom.
And see, I still think that's still a problem that, we have to be able to step up and have these difficult conversations with our children because otherwise they're being taught by porn and from other people who may not always have their best interests at heart. And so, how old were you? So, who had the conversation with you about sex? Was it your mom then?
My mom didn't talk about it either. My mom, honestly, my mom in my household, my mom taught us how to cook for ourselves, and like told us conversations about life. We didn't really talk about sex in my household either parent. I'm not gonna say that they were afraid of it. I'm just gonna say it just wasn't spoken on, in which I think that should be spoken on. Now, my mom and dad did make sure somebody touched you when you tell them, and like they made that very clear at a very young age. And growing up in my house, we didn't spend out of our cousin's house. My daddy would not let us go over there for nothing. There was his own brother kids and her sister kids, and her, but they didn't do that. I never understood why until I got older. As a child, you think your parents being mean. Boy, you get older, some things happen. Your cousins do stuff, and then it's that's a whole nother conversation.
Everybody's house is different. No,
Yeah.
I totally agree. Now I'm gonna push it a little bit right here, okay? In today's age, it's a little bit different than just having the typical birds and bees conversation. And I feel like a lot of times we look at things and we ignore them. But on traditional television, and all of these other things, like there are same-sex relationships that are happening, right? And so at what point and at what age do you have a conversation with your children about same-sex relationships? Because that birds and the bees conversation isn't birds and birds and bees and bees.
I'm going to say this. I saw a post. I wish I can share it on the screen. Hopefully when I get more tech savvy or Angel get, because that's Angel Lane, that, we have things artists want to talk about and show on the screen and show y'all. But I saw a post in elementary school where they said Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, LGBT lives matter, women rights matter,
yeah.
You matter. And it was in a first grade class. And somebody said, is this too young for kids to be seeing this? And I said, no. I said, because all those hatred things that people grow up saying that gay is wrong and this is wrong and that's wrong and black is wrong and all that stuff, you were taught that at home. So I don't mind a teacher putting in her classroom and make you go home and say, hey, Dad or Mom, what is this? Because let me tell you something, children grow up innocent. Children are very innocent. They are taught that hatred shit, and I hate to say that we grow up with. Let me share a story with you guys. I'm a homosexual. If you do not know, I'm going to let y'all know. You got to watch episode 1. I'm a homosexual. And I grew up in a Christian home, in a black home, with straight parents. So that, and then let me say that again. I grew up in a Christian home and a black home with straight parents. So with me having feelings for the same sex, I did not understand who I was as a person. Okay, so I'm praying in a way because in church they are telling you that you are wrong, you are going to hell, and in my mind I love the Lord. Like I sung in the choir, I did everything to make God pleased with my life. And I felt like I was going to hell for something I could not help. When I tell y'all I tried to pray that away, I tried to pray that away and it would not go away. Keep in mind, gay stuff was not shown in my household. And when you have people telling you that what you feel is wrong and you're going to hell and you the bottom of the earth and you can have your cousin and you know keep it a buck and keep it real that's touching people in the family, but that's okay. Touching little girls, he a boy, that's okay. He can be killing people, he's on drugs, that's okay. But you being gay, oh no, you the worst thing in the world. And if I did not have a self-esteem that I had, if I didn't know who I was as a person, I could have committed suicide. And I could not be here today because of what I was taught in my household. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to make sure the things that you guys say in your household, be mindful of what you say because your child might be experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is off topic, but I felt like it was on my spirit to say that. Be mindful of what you spew out because your child might be experiencing it. And if your child don't have a strong mind, and unfortunately now kids are committing suicide, and you're going to be wondering why your child did something.
Mm-hmm.
Teach people love.
My only issue with what you said is if my child comes home and asks me about something that I did not have the opportunity to introduce to my children in regards to that sign being in the first grade classroom. So I don't think I have to necessarily worry about that at because my kids go to a Christian school. And so I know how they feel about that. And I think that it's, again, at the discretion of the place in which you worship and understanding sexuality as a whole, right? But I think that it's important that we have these conversations, especially with our children, because the last thing that I want to have happen is for somebody to introduce something to my children that I have not had the opportunity to explain to them. Because at least I know if it's coming from me, it's coming from a place of love. And I definitely I believe everybody should feel accepted and have a place of acceptance. And I feel like there's so many people who battle their sexuality and being able to be outward. And I think that Tristan said it earlier. He said, I value, he said something along the lines of like, he understands or he respects people who are on the DL, right? And so with that being said, a lot of it has to do with comfort. If you don't have the support and you don't have people around you who are going to rally and encourage you and support you and love you through whatever it is that you're dealing with, you're going to keep it bottled inside and you're not going to come outward with it. And so it's being able to be comfortable. And I think with children, like you said, they're innocent. You want to be able, not saying that you're pushing something on them. And I think a lot of times, especially in the Black household, things are not discussed because they don't want to feel like, oh, I'm pushing this on you, or I'm the one who introduced it to you. So you're going to go and explore it. No, people are going to be introduced to it one way or the other. But it's my responsibility. If I am your mother, it's my responsibility to step up, have these difficult conversations with my spouse, have these difficult conversations with my children, to make sure that everybody is always to feel included and to feel loved and to feel accepted. And I think that's all everybody wants. Everybody just wants a space where they are accepted, and everybody just wants a space where they feel like they matter.
The only thing I would disagree with, and I agree everything else you said, was that you don't agree with children learning about this stuff before you talk about it. Unfortunately, Angel, we live in a time where a lot of kids learn stuff in school.
Understood. No, I'm not saying that that's the school's fault. I'm saying that's my responsibility. That would be my fault. I would not want to be in a situation where my child comes home and is asking me a question. I want to stay ahead of the curve and make sure that I am always forwardly introducing things to my children, because I don't want to be in a predicament where I'm playing defense, because I don't know what this other person or this other whatever has said to you. So I feel like for me, that's my job to make sure that I am ahead of whatever may be coming before you. That is the role of a parent. You have already been there. People are so quick as parents to say, you can't run no tricks over me. I've been there. I've done that. Well, teach me. Don't make me have to learn all of these lessons on my own through real life experience. Teach me. Have these conversations with me.
And unfortunately, you guys, like I'm gonna say this, when I was growing up, I could think Angel can attest to as well. We was outside playing. I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have a tablet. I wasn't on apps and doing all this crazy stuff. I was being a child, not children. My nephew at 5 has a tablet. He can get on YouTube. He can get on all kind of stuff if you want to. You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck. So with that being said, I hope that you are okay with having conversations. Your child click on anything now and look at it.
Absolutely.
So like you said, I do agree with what she said. Like, I want to make sure they come from a place of love. What I don't want to do is my child might be thinking about the same sex and they see a thing saying gay is wrong. And then that robbed me of the chance of saying, no, if you treat people right and that's how you feel, I'm going to accept you. Because I want to make sure I say this very clear as day. The world can mistreat you, but I hope that your parents is a loving and safe place. I will say that again. The world can mistreat you, but I hope that your parents is a safe place. And if that is not the case, I say it's all time in Atlanta, Georgia, where people move to Atlanta because they're trying to be themselves and they feel disown them. I thank God that it's not my situation, but it happens. And so I try, and when people, I hope that you learn this from tonight, that love yourself and love other people. If they're not hurting no one, I don't care what you do. I don't care. You know, like I used to be, I didn't really care for transgender people until I had a transgender friend. I was so close-minded, I didn't understand it. And here I am, a male, being what's the word looking for? Oh, I can't think. Yeah, to transgender people. And until I had a conversation with one, I'm like, damn, we went through the same thing, just different topics and conversations. So when I be open to a conversation, learn where somebody coming from. And sometimes people really feel like that ain't it. So I'd rather you be gay, and not be with women, having children with women, and you doing everything else under the sun. That's not fair to her. It's not fair to your kids, and it's not fair to you. I want to make sure you walk and live in your truth.
Now, I want to say this. I think that a lot of times the church has influenced how people decide to live and move forward. And I just feel like, again, like Rodney said earlier, it's just kind of like on my spirit. Like, and I think that a lot of times when you are raised a certain way, you kind of pick up those same things, but you also have to morph into learning and figuring things out on your own. The Bible says, you know, when you were a child, you thought as a child, you spoke as a child. But when you become a man, you have to act as such. And so with that being said, the one thing that people never really have a real conversation about is God represents love. Point blank, period. That is his number one thing. God is not looking at us and passing judgment and saying, oh, well, this person is, you know, in this sexual relationship or whatever. Like, in my opinion, this is Angel's opinion. God is looking at love. Are you treating people with love? Are you loving me? Are you all of those things? So if God created all of these people, and inside of each and every one of us, there's a dose of God. So there's all this judgment. There's all these conditions that people are placing on people. And I think that that's not your job. It is not your job to place judgment on anybody. The only person that can place judgment is God. And so for all these Christian, churches and people who, think that they are holier than thou, why are you passing judgment on somebody and that is not your lane? Your job is only to love and to receive people with open arms and to love them. That's it. Unless somebody is trying to get up on you and that's not your thing, again, stay in your lane and do unto others as you would have done unto you. But at the end of the day, God's number one thing that he wanted for his people was love. And so I just press that upon you to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, that you're always doing it from a place of love.
And I'm going to say this. It's nowhere, and I'm going to go by the Bible, the guy said gay is wrong. Man said it. And let me make this very clear. And I'm not trying to sit here and persuade anybody, religion, or faith. Things wouldn't be a rule if it was not done. With that being said, somebody had to see a man have sex with a man or a woman have sex with a woman and they feel like it was wrong. You get what I'm saying? So make sure, and I'm not trying to tell people like everything about was not real. I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. God tells you to love people and respect people. God didn't hang around the holy, righteousness people. He hung around the worst of the worst. Again, the woman who was a whore of town that people try to talk about bathes his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that is
what that Bible.
I'm just, we both Christians on here. I got to say what I got to say. So when people tell you what is wrong, just keep in mind that somebody had to see it and they felt uncomfortable about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, in the 10 Commandments, God wrote that. He told Moses what he spoke to Moses, okay? And it's no one 10 Commandment where it says anything about being the same sex is wrong. I'm just leaving it for food of thought. So, Angel, we're at the end of our show. So this don't do you, girl.
Yes, so this is the end of the show. Please send us your questions. We want to add you to the conversation. This is all about engagement. Sorry to end that segment the way that we did, but we do have to close out. Our hour is over. But that is essentially our clock has run out. We've come to the end of this week's Overnite Shift, but we're here for you every day of the week on our social platforms at Overnite Show and on our website, overniteshift.com. Don't forget that we would like to keep things tight, so there is no GH in night, just NITE. With that, remember the shift happens, and when it does, we're here for you. I look forward to seeing you guys, same place, same time next week. And Rodney, we have to close out. What's your thought for the week? What's something we should remember for the week?
You know what? My thought of the week is this, since we ended with that. Love people for people and respect people for what they do. When you do that, the world will be a better place. Angel, what's yours?
Oh, okay. I was just going to let you have it. So I think my thought of the week is, again, since we've had this whole conversation around love, I think it's to love and to forgive. This has definitely been a week of forgiveness for me. And having a space where not only are you willing to love and forgive others, but be sure that you offer yourself that same grace and love and forgive yourself. All right, that is our show for this week. We look forward to seeing you same place, same time next week on the Overnite Shift. Have a great evening.
Bye, guys. See you at 10 p.m. on Thursday.